What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris Mann. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Tuesday, August 26, 2025. My name is Chris Drummond. I'm a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a very special guest that's coming on with me tonight. She is a morning reporter for First Coast News based out of Jacksonville, Florida. Her name is Claire Alfree. And we're going to talk to her about her why of getting into journalism. And we're also going to ask her some get to know you questions. So, Claire, welcome to the podcast.
Chris, thanks so much for having me. I am so excited to yap with you.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw your bio, I actually used to live in New York, so I was like, okay. Love to see the representation.
Absolutely, no doubt. What part of New York was you in?
I was in the Elmira area, so like middle of nowhere, New York, very cold.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I'm literally about maybe 30 miles from there. Because I'm upstate here. Macedon is the city that I'm in, which is pretty close to Rochester. So you already know what time it is up here for sure, no question. Okay, that's what's up. I like that. We off to a damn good start already. So here we go. My first question to you, Claire, is the same question that it is for everybody that hops on this podcast. And that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models, any inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for getting into the journalism industry?
Yeah, so great get to know you question. Honestly, I think me being a reporter was never like the first idea. I was always kind of like a joke amongst my family, especially since like me and Meredith Vera, like from they used to be on the Today Show, have the same birthday. But I always thought that I was gonna go and pursue performing full time in some capacity. I mean, that was really my whole background. It wasn't until really like being in college during the pandemic and realizing I really needed to pivot. I mean, I was really grateful I was able to perform and stuff throughout college, and I thought like, this is my passion, this is everything. But whenever everything shut down and I realized like the one thing that kept on going was news, that was kind of like the big jump for me. I really also got lucky that I was able to work for the Department of Transportation in Delaware and work with different reporters. Even though I was managing their social media, a lot of the times I'd be coordinating a lot of media hits for the Department of Transportation, and especially working with them. And I was like, oh, you can do this? Why can't I? So it kind of stemmed into me really like taking my love of storytelling through performing and translating it into TV news. But I also started off doing radio, doing podcasts, doing print. Basically any type of opportunity I would take to tell someone else's story. And I'm really happy it snowballed into the TV world because it's quite interesting, that's for sure.
There's no question about that. But if anybody looks at your reel or anybody sees videos of you, you definitely belong in front of a camera. There's no question about that. But they also see
Thanks.
you're very welcome. But they see how professional you are and how passionate you are about what you do, and I think you are amazing at it. There's no question about that either. You said performing. Are we talking theater? Are we talking dance? Like, what kind of performing did you like aspire to do growing up?
Yeah, all of it. I would say that like any type of like person you would see on Broadway, I wanted it. I would say musical theater was like my number one like idea. And
Really?
honestly, whenever I was looking at colleges, it was really me like auditioning and looking into that. But
Right.
I really also love like the jazz sphere. I think music will always be like my number one. And in college, I was actually able to do all three: acting, dancing, and college music. So I'm glad I didn't have to like sacrifice that component too much because it means everything to me, and I still do it to this day, which is great. Just not full time, but I'm happy just to say that I do it. I perform here in Jacksonville and all over Georgia and Florida.
Okay, all right. I still got family in Georgia. That's where I actually went to school at. I went to school at Kennesaw State University, so about 20 miles from Atlanta, Georgia. So I definitely have ties to that state, and I still have family out there as well. I'm a huge musical theater buff. That's the reason why I asked that question because I've acted in a couple of musicals myself.
Okay.
Yeah, Les Miserables being one of them. which I had no idea what the hell it was when somebody approached me about it. I was
No
like,
one told you it was gonna be 3.5 hours.
no, and no one told me it was about the French Revolution either. I was like, "What is going
Oh.
on? What are you talking about?" Like, yeah, they say it was a high school thing. So I was in high school. I played basketball, football, the typical jock sports, and I always loved music. So I was like, "Okay, cool." And they said, "Hey, Chris, you should be in this musical." And I'm like, "Okay, what's the musical about?" It was like the French Revolution. I'm like, "Man, hell no, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't want to do no French Revolution. I'm good." But then I saw how many and I'm ashamed to say this now, how many ladies was in there, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I might want to try a little something something at that point and see what's about. I was like, okay, cool. Then I auditioned and they started giving me all these parts for Les Miserables, and they was like, you're gonna do this part, this part, this part, and this part. And I had to drink with me solo. If you remember that drink with me solo.
Oh, of course. This is like my all-time second favorite Broadway show of all time. It was the first one I saw on Broadway, so I know the show in and out. I probably could do it right now if it wasn't for copyright
I
purposes.
love it. I love it. So I fell in love with musicals from that point, and I want to ask you, what is your like top four musicals that you love?
So I really like all the depressing ones, Chris. My number one favorite is from the writers of Les Mis. It's called Miss Saigon. It basically pays a tribute to the
Hmm.
Vietnam War.
Yep.
And one of my like all-time favorite actress singers, Lea Salonga, who also is Filipino like me. That was her Broadway debut. I'm
Yep.
really grateful I got to see that on Broadway. Number two is Les
Okay.
Mis, just because
Hmm.
that was the show that got me into musical theater. It's a very special show between my grandparents and I. And yeah, I love it. I still sing all the music to this day, and I probably have everything still memorized.
Mm.
I would say my third, if you could incorporate a movie, I would say La La Land. I love So Passionate about it. I
Mm.
think that movie, even though the controversial ending and everything, like
Right.
sparks so much conversation of relationships and things that you wish could work out, and they just don't. So
Right.
I love that. And then I think a fourth one. Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. Like a part of me, like the Disney nerd in me, wants to say Aladdin, but if I had to pick something like different than that, I'd probably say Bonnie and Clyde. And I've been able to actually to be a
Ooh,
musical director for that. It
yeah.
was really really special for me to like teach these actors how to be emotive and play with a lot of like the different lines and how they sang it and what they said. But yeah, and that story is also historically kind of accurate, kind of like exaggerated, talking about just like them two like going up beyond all odds for each other and what life was like in like the 1930s. So I would say all of that. I like history. I love music. I think that's what describes
Absolutely.
that best.
Yeah, no, you picked some really good ones. Some really good ones. I mean, it's tough to narrow it down to four. I did put you on the spot, but I would say my four, if I had to pick four for sure, I would say Hairspray. I definitely like Hairspray. That's one of my favorites. Les Miserables. We both agree on that.
Yeah, great
Wick
taste.
Wicked is another one that's pretty good. I'm a huge Wicked person, obviously with the popular song, that's probably one of my favorites in that one. And then the last one is really unconventional, but the one with Hugh Jackman, The Greatest Showman. That
Hmm.
soundtrack, that to
So
me
good.
is
So
so good.
good.
It's
Yes,
one of the best.
agreed.
No question about that. Like I can sing that all the way through, and with every song, it'd be great. Literally. And I had a chance to listen to the soundtrack, and Zach Brown Band did a remake of one of their songs, which is one of my favorites as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's what's up. I like that. All right.
Hmm.
I might have to come check you out, girl, next time I'm in Jacksonville doing your thing for sure. No doubt. Um, Let me ask you now, because you went to I'm gonna butcher it. Uh
Juniata. I said it for you.
Juniata thank you so much. Juniata College. Okay, you went there. That's a college in Pennsylvania. Were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to that particular college, or was you dead set on going to there?
No, I also applied to Juniata on a whim. It was like the last school I applied to, and I was just
Mhm.
like, I've already applied to 10. Why not one more? Type of mindset. It was free.
Mm, got you.
I knew some people ahead of time from my high school who went there. And so I was just like, oh, why not? And then I got an insane like offer I couldn't refuse. I mean, to not only financially, but then to pursue like an actual degree, to do golf and play, and then
Oh,
also do all the music, theater, dance stuff. I couldn't say no to that. Also, it was at the time whenever my family and I lived in Pennsylvania, it was only like an hour and a half away from them. So, and I'm really close with them. So I really like that, especially with my younger siblings. They're still in high school doing all the cute high school things, and I wanted to be able to come back.
Sure.
So yeah, I think I'm really happy that I went. I'm really happy that that's the school I chose. Of course, like there are some reach schools. Like of course, like everyone talks about going to Temple or I applied to like Syracuse, all
Yep.
these like really big schools. But at the end of the day, and also like the student debt thing, I'm really glad I chose a small school.
Okay, that's what's up. Now, obviously, you're from PA. I'm gonna assume that you're from
Hmm.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Now, what's the closest biggest city? Because I have family that's in Pittsburgh.
So, from Juniata, I would say Pittsburgh is like about like 3 hours, 3.5
Okay.
hours.
Okay. Pretty cool.
I the capital is Harrisburg. That's a little
Yep.
closer to, and then like Philly and all of that. It's like a solid four. It's like in the center of the state.
Okay.
If you know
Got
State
you.
College, like where Penn State, Maine is, that's the
Hmm.
closest thing. It's 45 minutes
Oh.
away. But when I went to
Okay.
college, I didn't have cell phone service. Like literally, it's in like the side of a mountain.
Wow. Central PA don't have no cell phone service. Is that what you saying?
Nah, some people do. Just my carrier didn't, and I didn't want to pay
No.
for my own cell phone bill. So yeah,
Okay.
it was very small school. Like I think the longest walk was like my dorm to like a class is like 8 minutes.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it just felt like a giant like high school sleepover, to be quite honest. But it was bigger than my high school, so I was like, oh, I'm upgrading at this point.
Absolutely. I totally understand you because I don't know when you stayed in your dorms, but freshmen in Kennesaw State, they had freshman dorms. I didn't stay freshman. I stayed sophomore year and then I decided to move off campus and get my own apartment. But sophomore year, that walk to class was like, oh my gosh. Now I was in Georgia, obviously. We don't get really snow a whole lot,
Mm-hmm.
like up there in PA. But it was still kind of a walk. It's still chilly, it's still cold. It's still just the classes and the buildings were so spaced out. They were so far away from each other. It took a
Yeah.
long time because we was all the way towards the street light where our apartments was, away from the school. And obviously when you go to college, you don't really have like many street lights near the school. So if our apartments is all the way near the street lights, that's a long damn walk
You got
all
your
the way
steps
back
in,
there.
honestly. And I don't know
Right.
how you guys do it, like in the Georgia heat and the humidity. Like, I
Well,
hope your dorms had air conditioning.
oh, they did. They did. Trust me, I got a tan for a reason. I got a tan for a reason. So that's for sure. No question about that. I want to ask you some favorite questions, Claire, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions that I'm going to ask you. Okay, so here we go.
Sure.
Favorite meal you like to cook?
I like to cook a lot. I would say though that like I eat a lot of like Asian food because like growing up with my mom being Filipino, like we had rice like 3 times a day. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say any type of like for example like in Tagalog it's called pancit canton and it's kind of like noodle stir fry with shrimp. That one's also always good. I eat a lot of
Okay.
like rice bowls where I just make probably
Mm,
chicken, put some sauce or something within vegetables over
mm.
rice. Yeah, I would say that. It's pretty easy and anything with a rice cooker to me is easy.
Well, you ain't lying about that. It's pretty good too, girl. You got me hungry now. I like that. I
Yeah.
like something like that. I'm a huge I love bowls and stuff like that and teriyaki and rice and chicken. I'm huge into that for sure. I'm also huge into tacos, which is something I make pretty good. I could whip that up. Chicken, steak, beef, doesn't matter what it is. So no doubt. Okay, that's what's up. I like that. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh, this is hard from a music person. I actually just saw Big Time Rush the other
Mm.
like week, and they're basically, if you don't know, like the whole like Nickelodeon boy band that like is very close to like my childhood. And that
Yep.
was a great concert. Like it was so much fun. They had other people from the show like be like the pregame, and they played every single song from the TV show, which like spanned for almost a decade. So that was a really good concert. It was here in Jacksonville. It
Okay.
was like a random Tuesday night, and the concert space was really intimate. They had like a second sound stage that was like right below me, and it was really great. And I thought that they took advantage of the intimate setting really well and sounded
Mhm.
just like they did 10 years ago, which is insane. So yeah, I would say that's yeah. Even though it's like recent, I would say that's my favorite concert experience so far.
Okay, I'm got you on that. I'm a huge Weekend person, so if you know the artist, The
Nice.
Weekend,
I love the
yeah.
weekend. They were just in PA. They were in
Mhm.
Philly. I
Yes,
saw
they
the
were.
pictures. I was a little jealous. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the album that got me through 2020.
I'm a huge Starboy person.
Nice.
So
Very
yeah,
good.
that's probably top five albums in my opinion of all time. Like I have his Starboy album up there. Like I don't have any skips on that album.
Right.
And he's definitely one of the best for sure. I got a chance to see him twice, once in Chicago, once in Atlanta. So that was definitely my favorite
Oh,
concert
oh,
for
that's
sure,
so cool.
no doubt. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've been able to travel a lot. I mean, not just with my job, but in general. I feel like if someone asked me what my hobby is, it's now traveling.
Hmm.
My favorite place though would probably be the Philippines specifically. It's a province called Zambales. It's where my mom actually was born. And it was like my whole family, we got to go to this little like beach hut that we have and then walk out in your whole backyard. It's just this perfectly clear like white sand beach, and it was all to ourselves, and like just spending the day there and like the sunset, it's just like such like a core memory for me. So yeah, the goal is next year to go back, which is really exciting to go, especially since I can drink this time. So I'm quite excited for that.
I'm
How
excited
about you,
for you.
Chris?
I'm excited for you. And two things. First, before I tell you mine, one, I got to get some recommendations for you because I definitely want to go to the Philippines myself. I've never been to the Philippines before. I just got my passport this past October, so I'm going to be traveling to a lot of different places and countries. So I'm definitely going to have to call you up and get some recs from you to go there. Second,
Sure.
I want to ask you, do you like pho and boba?
Of course, it's like it's honestly I should
Okay.
probably have a thing of boba as an IV.
Okay.
Oh, that's like
Got
my
you.
sweet treat. Like if I'm having a bad day, a good day, whatever, I want boba. My favorite pho place here, I recommend it to everyone. I don't even need a menu. Like I just walk in and I know what I'm gonna get.
I love it. I love it. No,
Yeah,
I had to ask that question, because my first experience was not a great experience trying pho.
I'm sorry to hear
It
that.
it just was not. Now it's gotten better, and I do like it. And the same thing with boba. I didn't understand what the chunks was in the drink when I asked for it. So I was drinking. I mean, I didn't understand that. I was drinking it, and I was like, what is going on? Why is there chunks of it?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. But then the pho, somebody brought over some pho, and I was with some friends, and I had a friend named Fong, and she was like, "Yeah, you need to be able to try this. This is very good." And I was like, "Okay, I'll try it." And I was like, "It looks like just a big damn bowl of chicken noodle soup. That's what it looks like." And she was like, "No, no, it's not. It's noodles, it's broth, it's chicken or steak, or whatever you want to put into it." So when I used the chopsticks to do it, it only had three pieces of chicken. I was like, "Where the rest of the chicken at?"
That sounds
And
like
they,
your friend ate it. That's what it sounds like.
it sounds like they probably ate it before they put the bowl on the table or something. Because I don't know what was going on. There was barely no chicken up in that pho. Now, ever since then, I've had better experiences, and I do like pho, and I do like boba. So I love the fact that you love those things because I typically like to go out to places, and I'm not a huge sushi person, but I do like pho and boba, and I love rice. So any kind of rice thing. But to answer your initial question, Claire, my favorite place is Jamaica. Um, I went to Jamaica on a cruise this past October, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. It was my first time ever going on a cruise, my first time ever being in Jamaica. The jerk chicken and the rice, once again, was amazing. The people were amazing. The beaches were amazing, and it was just a great vibe. So yeah, Jamaica is definitely a place I'm gonna go back to. But the Philippines is also on my list as well. So I cannot wait to go there at some point for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you might move to Jamaica. Sounds
Uh,
like you had a great time, which is great.
I did. I did. I had a really good time. I'm a sports person, Claire, so I'm going to ask you a two-part sports question. So here we go. Tell me this. Which sport, as far as which sport would you rather watch on TV? And what is your favorite sport to attend in person? So favorite sport to watch on TV and favorite sport to attend in person. They could be the same sport.
Yeah, it's golf. Absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
I love watching golf because I just have so many positive memories of watching it growing up with my
Okay.
family.
Yeah.
And then actually being able to be here in Jax, like not only am I part of a women's league, which is great, but like the players are here, and that's by far like one of the best times I've had at work is like covering that for the past 2 years, which is super fun. I love watching it in person. I love seeing the players in action and just the overall like synergy on the course. There's a lot of people there that don't really know a lot about golf. They're just there for vibes, and so they add a
Right.
different kind of energy to it, which is great. But yeah, I'm also biased because like I golfed for a lot part of my life. So you're
Mm.
probably, I would assume, a football person.
Definitely football, but I love all sports. I mean, as a sports reporter, it's like, I love all sports except cricket. I don't understand cricket, so I'm trying. I don't quite understand that game. But football and basketball, obviously, I grew up playing that. Basketball is probably my favorite sport. I grew up in California, so I was a huge Lakers fan. Kobe is the reason why I got into sports. Kobe Bryant. So and then also football because I love watching on TV. But I also love golf because was able to cover the Masters, which is one of the
That's
most
super
beautiful
cool.
one's
That's a
most
beautiful course. I can just
beautiful.
think of the music in my head right now.
Oh my gosh, the Masters, Augusta, one of the best courses, and the Tour Championship is typically was always played in Atlanta, Georgia. So I got a
Mhm.
chance to also do event security for that. I didn't cover that, but I did cover the Masters one year, which was amazing to do. So I was very blessed to watch some great golfers. Who is your great golfer right now? Your favorite golfer?
Oh, that's tough. I don't know. I guess like I've always been a giant fan of like Michelle Wee, even though she's not playing right now because she's in mom
Hmm.
mode.
Yeah,
I've always loved her because like she was so fashionable
she was.
while golfing and things like that. So and she was just also electric to play and
Hmm.
watch her play. I think that like Scotty this year has, had a crazy year.
Hmm. He's been
Like
pretty good.
just yeah, crazy, like the headlines, all of that. Loved his cameo in Happy Gilmore too. So that has been really fun to watch as well.
Hmm.
But like truthfully, whenever I covered like this past year at the players, the playoff that they had at the end,
Hmm.
that was wild. And those are two golfers that like I obviously like knew but never watched them in person, so that was really cool.
Right.
So yeah, I would say that like I'm game to open anyone that makes me want to watch them. I like the sassy golfers. I like them being able to like, I don't know, like not only just like golf and like be focused, but like interact with the spectators as well. But it's a hard thing to balance. But yeah, anyone who's just like they're gonna bring spunk to their game, I think that's really what gets me.
I like that. And I want to ask this bonus question to you because I would say probably I was outside of obviously Tiger of all time. Bryson DeChambeau is one of my favorites, for sure.
Nice, nice.
Bryson DeChambeau. I do like Rory McIlroy. I like him. As far as female, Michelle Wee and Annika Sorenstam, if you remember her.
Mhm.
She was one of my favorite golfers as well. But I want to ask this bonus question to you: is that TNT puts on this versus stuff. Now they're doing it with the football players, but they did do it with professional golfers, having the football players tag team up. I used to watch that like religiously because I love the just banter, but I also love the competitiveness. Do you like that format that TNT created?
I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's different. I think
Hmm.
that right now the golf industry is really exciting because there are a lot of people over the pandemic that were bored out of their minds and they wanted something to do, and golf courses stayed open because they were able to social distance. So they are, I think, capitalizing on a really exciting time where there's a
Hmm.
lot of people who are open now to golf.
Right,
They're also changing the format too of like this is not just like what your grandparents watch on
right,
Sunday all day or like what dads do, right? So I
right.
think that that format is really great to making the game even more inclusive. And the same thing with like the live tournaments and things like that. I think that it's very fitting right now in the time to update how we cover golf and how golf is competitive. And
Mm.
just making sure that like we're seeing other people, not just the same 20 last names on the player board, on the PGA tour.
Right.
So that's really exciting. I'm excited to kind of see where it goes. I think that model works really well for streaming, and ultimately, I think that's kind of like where TV is going to go. So
Yep.
I think that by introducing this model now provides a lot of longevity, not only to sports broadcasting itself, but for getting people to get involved in the golf world.
Absolutely, and I love watching golf, especially on the Sundays. There's nothing like watching golf on a Sunday when you're on that final round and you got the last group and you got like people that's like right in contention, like the crowd, the noise, just the build up.
Hmm.
Walking those different holes and doing that to me is just absolutely amazing. No question about it. But I want to ask this next bonus question before I get to the last favorite. What would you say is your, because I love golf too, and I'm glad that you love golf. What would you say is your favorite event? Because mine is the Ryder or President's Cup. Whenever I see the Ryder or President's Cup, I'm yelling at the TV. I'm going all in. I'm like, USA, y'all got to win. Y'all got to represent. You got to do that. What is your favorite event?
Yeah, no, I think that tournament's a lot of fun. I'm gonna be biased to say the players. I think the players is like the honorable like fifth like major tournament here in the US. And I
Hmm.
think not only am I kind of biased as I've seen it in person and everything like that,
Hmm.
I think that they do such a good job if you are in person of making it a full experience, not only
Right.
while you're watching the tournament, but just so many other things going on the sides and between the holes. There's different gimmicks. I think that just like the energy and the collectiveness and like the good vibes are so present at that tournament specifically. Like I can think of so many times where like I'm walking around trying to get a good spot, and so many girls are like, "Oh my god, you want to sit here?" Like I don't even know them. Like, "You want to sit on my blanket?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure."
That's
And I
awesome.
really think that that's kind of
Okay.
like what golf like needs to be. Golf is a really special game to me. I've met the best people in my life because of it. I've gotten closer to my family because of it. Like it's one of my favorite dates to go on. So any type of tournament that kind of promotes like the special moments of it, I think the players does it super well.
Although I will tell you, Claire, I'm dominating in mini golf. In mini golf,
Oh,
I can
okay.
I can
That's the most
dominate in mini
important part
golf.
of your game. So that's really
Right.
good.
You know what I'm saying? I dominate in that. Now, as far as hitting off the driving range, uh, I try. Let's just
That's
move
what
on.
Top Golf is for. I understand.
Yeah. Oof. I'm pretty. I hit the ball far. Let's just put it like that. But as far as points go, points is just not my thing. But I hit the ball very far. So
Yeah,
that's
that's great. Yeah, as
yeah.
long as you're making contact and it goes
No.
forward, not backwards. Yeah.
Yeah. It never goes backwards. Never goes backwards. So you're right about that. Okay, I'll feel you on that. Now, last of the favorites. I'm a huge foodie. I love food, and I'm sure you love food too. I would love to know what is your favorite restaurant to eat out at in Jacksonville?
Hmm. So I already said the pho place, but there's this other really good Thai restaurant that I really like. It's called Indochine. It's like in downtown Jacksonville. My golf bestie, she and I go there and we meet up like during the week just to catch up on life. And I really like it just because I love Thai food.
Hmm.
Obviously, I mean, and they do a really great job of not only staying true to the classics, but adding some spin, adding some flair to some things that I'm really familiar with.
Right.
But yeah, anything that's paired with white rice, I'm a sucker for. How about you? What's your favorite place in upstate New York to eat at?
Oh man, that's a damn good question, Claire. Well, see, I just moved here, so I'm still kind of getting adjusted to it because I'm only in week 3 of being here. But coming from Minnesota, I can tell you because I was there for about 3 years doing reporting and stuff. I would say my favorite place there would probably be Slim Chickens. And you're probably saying, well, man, I don't know if I heard of that. Well, Slim Chickens, they make the best waffles and chicken combination. And I'm a huge waffles and chicken combination kind of person. So I love that. And any type of carnivore type stuff, whether it's chicken, steak, ribs, doesn't matter what it is, I'm good. Now, my all time favorite restaurant is Longhorn Steakhouse because I'm a huge steak person. I love steak. But Texas Roadhouse is very close because of them cinnamon buns that they be doing. And you know what I'm talking about with the cinnamon buns. So yes, but that's close. But I'm a huge steak person. So yeah, that's what I did. Obviously, when I
Chris, I don't
obviously
think you should do sports reporting anymore. I think you need to be like a food review blogger type of guy. I
you
think
know
you might have
what?
to change your beat.
That's okay. I'm totally fine with that because I can go to different places. I could write about it. I know all different kinds of different kinds of food. So I would be cool with that. Although I would miss being on the sidelines. That's for sure. Because I love being on the sidelines. That's for damn sure. Obviously, next time I come down to Jacksonville, I'm gonna have to try that Taiwan place and that pho place. But I'm also gonna have to say hello to you if you're still there in Jacksonville. There's no question. We'll have to go get something, grab something to eat. That's for sure. Okay, I'm with that. Let's get to your day to day. As you know, as journalists, as we both know, no day is ever the same. No 2 days are ever the same. We're always doing something different. We're always covering something different. We're always going somewhere, interviewing somebody different. And that's part of the reason why we love journalism is because of the unknown. You never know what you're going to do. It's not boring. It's not something that's predictable. And it's always something that could be interesting slash fun slash exciting slash oh man it could take all damn day. So I say that to ask you this question of what do you do on a day-to-day basis. What is your day-to-day operations? How many stories do you have to come up with? How many different things do you have to do throughout the day? What time do you normally work and stuff like that? Welcome back to the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. I am your host, Chris Drummond. I'm a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here, proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I have here Claire Alfree. She is a morning reporter for First Coast News based out of Jacksonville, Florida. And we were just about to get the answer about her day-to-day operations of being a morning reporter and what she does, how many stories she gets, and what time frame that she works from. Because obviously, reporters have all different kinds of times and do all different kinds of things on multiple days. So, Claire, take it away.
Well, Chris, I don't sleep. I normally go to work at 4 a.m. So I literally do like kind of a graveyard shift.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Mm.
this is pushing it my bedtime right now. But normally what happens is that I walk in and I kind of see what beast I got to tackle today. Normally I do 2 to 3 different versions of the same story, and I
Okay.
go live every 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how prevalent the story is.
Right.
But I would say my main focus is breaking news. So any type of crime scene, any type of court, any type of major thing, I'm on it. Even if that means I'm getting called in at like 1 a.m. to go hang out at a crime scene. That's my life. So
Mm.
yeah, I would say that's kind of like most of it. It's sometimes difficult to kind of give a day to day because it all just depends.
Mhm.
Most of the time, I get pivoted to different breaking news, different stories. So some days I'm doing 2 to 3 versions of the same story. Other days I'm doing literally 3 or 4 different, completely different stories. And they all range from just different, like if it's not crime or court, anything kind of like economic related. I really like doing that. Anything business related, anything that just really impacts like your livelihood and safety, not only in Jacksonville but all over the First Coast. So we take care of Southern Georgia and Northeast Florida, and we'll also travel like out of the market as well. Like August, I think has been like my most mileage month. I was at Fort Stewart earlier this month covering the shooting that happened there. On
Right. Right.
Monday, I drove to Tallahassee and covered FSU coming back to school after last semester. Many students stayed remote after the terrible campus-wide shooting.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a field trip every day, I would say. But I would also like want people to understand too is that like everything that you're seeing on TV, the video, the words you're saying, even what the anchor's saying to introduce me, it's all written by me. It's edited by me. The
Hmm.
web script that you see online when you Google it,
Right.
um, that's all written by me. So we're also digital reporters as well. Trying to do that on top of managing all my social media to stay engaged, to stay informed, all the story ideas, unless it's, being told, hey, there's a crime scene here, there's a shooting here, there's a stabbing here. It's all my own ideas. So it's a lot of self-starter entrepreneurial spirit, I could say.
Sure. Not easy at all. And listen, there's a misconception out there, Claire, and you can agree or disagree with me however you see fit. But I feel there's a misconception when it comes to reporters because sometimes they just see people, see the handsome guy or they see the beautiful lady like yourself in front of the camera talking, right? You're talking about the news, being an advocate for the news. Oh, I want to do that. And they think it's a glamorous type of thing. And it's not really a glamorous type of thing that we do. We don't do it for the glam. We do it for because this is what we love to do. We love being an advocate for the people. We love being the pillars in our community. We love for people to be informed about what's going on. And people get that misconception because they want to be famous. And they don't understand the behind the scenes that goes on. Like you just said, you do all the editing, the writing. I'm sure at one point you probably was an MMJ where you probably had to set up your own camera. If you didn't, then there's a lot of people in this industry that do, multimedia journalists that do, depending on the market that they're in. So you do everything. Plus, you don't have a makeup department. I've heard that some people do their makeup in the car. Some people have done their makeup at the station. Some people have just um, they just been on the go. And sometimes in this industry, when you have things set up, you have everything set up that you want to do, you get thrown a curveball. Like a source may back out, an interview may fail. Now you're trying to scramble to get this stuff in for deadline, and people don't see that because all they see is the final product. When you come on to people's TV screens at 5, 6, 10, or 11, or whatever you come on their TV screens, that's all they see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I'm still MMJ now. Like I've been an MMJ in every market, if not like other roles on top of an MMJ. And
Sure.
I think that that's kind of the future of what news is going to be. I think a lot of people still, even to this day, I go somewhere and they're asking where my cameraman is, and I'm just like, oh, I'm a strong independent reporter. I don't need no cameraman. I wish I had one, but most of the time it's you doing everything yourself. And then I really see also like MMJs in the future, which I've already done, being a photographer for a different reporter just so they don't have to go live by themselves.
Yeah.
And so they're, covering that, whatever you want it to be. But yeah, I do my makeup in 2 minutes in the car before I go on TV
Right.
or while I'm standing there just to kind of look awake, cover the
Right.
bags underneath my eyes. It's
Right.
definitely like life like on the road mindset, which I've always wanted. I don't think I would work very well in a let's be in like work in an office all the time.
Yep.
But yeah, it's really tough, especially right now with a lot of changes happening in the local news industry. It's really, really difficult to find an incentive to stay. And even a place to stay at, just knowing how the market is changing so much when it comes to even having a local news station and having it operate in a world that TV cable news is phasing out.
Absolutely. Well said, which brings to a great segue of this next question, which is mental health and work life balance. I've been in this industry for about 8 years now. From the three different places that I've been, I've seen a lot of journalists step away from this because their mental health was affected. I've seen people step away because of work life balance. They just can't seem to get that balance right. And in my opinion, I don't think you're ever going to 100% get it right in this industry. And that's not to demean this industry. It's not to say that this industry is not something I love to do because I can't see myself doing anything else. Like you just said, I cannot see myself sitting at a desk 9 to 5. That's just boring as hell, and I would probably go crazy. I think you would go crazy too, but it's something that's worth talking about because a lot of people's mental health gets affected in a variety of ways. Talk to me about how you keep your mental health strong, but also still have that work life balance. Because, Claire, you seem like a very bubbly personality, person that many people would love to be around, including myself. I certainly wouldn't mind being around you. And I'm sure friends and family feel the same way. But you need your Claire time too, and you got to have that distance from the job. So tell me, how do you balance all of that?
Yeah, so I think one thing that makes our job very different is that for that typical 9 to 5, you have a strict starting time and ending time.
Mhm.
In a 24 hours news cycle, that doesn't exist for us. Even
Right.
if I'm technically not working or at work, like my time at home can easily turn into setting store ideas, setting stuff up because someone's reaching out to me. With
Right.
me working a weird shift, people don't normally get back to me until like the afternoon. So it's me
Right.
constantly doing all of that. And there's a lot of things, especially if you're like me and you work a weird shift altogether. Like I really feel bad for people who are coming out of college and they want to be on TV so bad, and they say yes, and then they're coming in at 11 o'clock at night, and then they get off at like 7,
Right.
and then their whole social life or their essentially any type of normalcy is out the window. So for me, I think that number one, like therapy is really helpful.
Okay.
I'm very open about going to therapy. It's been great. I see a lot of really traumatizing stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good for me or anyone to kind of be able to talk it out to someone who's completely removed from the situation and allowing yourself to process that and feel, because you don't have time to process that while you're covering a scene or while
Right.
you're going live 9 times. I think too, just trying to find separation in things that are completely non-news related. So like
Mm-hmm.
for me, like here I joined a run club, like I work out. These are people that they're not even my coworkers. And finding people who just want to talk to you because of you. That's really, really important and crucial, because one thing people in news love to do is talk about news. And while I love talking about news, sometimes it's difficult if you're around that 24/7 as well.
Sure.
And you can't find that boundary not only for yourself but relationships and all of that. And all of that is like, wait, I only have all of this because it's surrounded around work.
Right.
Um, I think also three, in terms of like mental health, is to number one, like acknowledge that you don't have to be on all the time. I think that there is a huge pressure for on-air talent to feel like they're on all the time, especially if they get recognized in person, which happens to me. And you feel like that you have to be the same person that they've interpreted on television, and that's not it, and that's not possible.
Right.
You obviously on TV, like if I'm having a bad day, I'm not going to show that, but it's okay to recognize that you don't have to be, TV Claire all the time. And you don't have to, be absolutely perfect and flawless, just like the pressure it is whenever you are reporting.
Right.
So I think all those three things are things I'm still working on and still growing in. Definitely things that like I have gotten better with since, first diving into the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I don't blame people from stepping away from the business if it's not a good fit. This is
Absolutely.
something that is absolutely going to take over not only your mental health, but your personal life. It's going to influence everything you think of, change your opinions based off of seeing things on both sides to stay
Mm-hmm.
unbiased. And there's, a weird gray area of just trying to accept that, embrace it, but also protect yourself from it, because you can't fully be unbiased your entire life, and you can't always be the one to go and put out the fire at the station, because something went wrong. Like, we are not built to work 24/7.
Right. Right. Wow. A powerful answer right there. But I really love that. I really love that you said that, because you hit on a lot of different things that I absolutely agree on. I do think that, to just mention it, therapy. That is a great thing that you said. I love you being transparent for that. It wasn't always something that was very popular to talk about back in the day. A lot of people didn't want to mention that. They said that they go to therapy because it was looked at as it was like a weakness to go. But sometimes you do need to go and talk to a professional, right? You have friends and family and people that you can reach out to, and we're all blessed to have that. But I think, in my opinion, you got to have somebody to tell you what you need to hear instead of what you want to hear, from a professional standpoint, and just somebody different other than a loved one to talk to and get that professional help from. It helps out. It does. You said something that was very key, and that was, there's people that it's okay if this is not the industry for you. And this is not to deter anybody from the episodes that I do on here on the Work Hard Play Harder podcast. It's not to deter people from it, but it is to enlighten you, to let you know that there has to be sacrifices that you're willing to make. This is a beautiful industry to be in. There's no question to be it. But people, again, have a misconception of, well, I don't want to work holidays, or I don't want to work evenings, or I don't want to do this. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's fine, but journalism might not be for you, especially if you want to be in sports. Sports are nights and weekends. News can be all different kinds of times. Like you said, you can have an overnight shift of 11 to 7. That could be brutal. There's no question about that. But it also leads into another great segue of a question, and that is advice. And I want to kind of add a bonus question to this, Claire, and that's what kind of advice would you give someone like an intern that maybe is at your station right now, or previous interns that you've worked with, or college graduates? What kind of advice would you give them if they wanted to be in broadcast journalism? And the second part is, how do you deal with hard news stories from where you started to now where you are? And what advice would you give on that, on how to deal with that?
Yeah, for sure. If I could talk to baby Claire, whenever she first got into this, I
Sure.
would say number one, even though the job seems like it's all about talking, your biggest toolbox item is going to be listening. And that you need to be able to, especially since I think there's like a typecast for reporters that they're extremely extroverted, bubbly, all of that. I see
Hmm.
it.
Hmm.
But a lot of the times, if you are talking, you miss out on some of the best things sound wise, best B roll moments, even insider information at a crime
Sure.
scene.
Yep.
All of that. I think that the best way to get into it and to be good at your job is to listen to people and watch their stuff that you want to be like. And especially if you're at like a local news station and there's been someone there for more than 2 years, like go and listen to how they do live shots and listen how they ask questions in an interview. Like go and open up like their raw file and see how they set up these people to get them to open up to you on camera.
Right.
It is by far, despite it being a talking job, the listening component is so overlooked. And it was
Mhm.
something that I had to learn the hard way too, of just like moments I missed and questions I didn't ask because I didn't fully listen. So I would say that to them, and also like just keep on, finding people that you want to report like and ask them questions. I think that's like the biggest takeaway. Especially like whenever you're not really sure what kind of sphere you want to do reporting wise. I
Right.
think that's the best way to figure it out is just testing it. A lot of the entry level MMJ roles are all general assignment, so you'll figure out what you like and you don't like very, very quickly, which is
Sure.
great, I think, to be well rounded in that sphere. And I honestly didn't see myself in the beginning as a hard news reporter, to be quite honest. Now I'm glad that I have done it. I get such an adrenaline rush like from it,
Sure.
of just
Sure.
like talking, and the pacing is insane. Like I'm interviewing a sergeant, and 6 minutes after I'm done with the interview, I'm like trying to memorize everything to then go live and then report about exactly what he told me and talk about the active scene and stuff. It is very, very high paced, intense, fast paced, but I'm hooked to it. I would say that whenever it comes specifically to hard news, number one, you have to remind yourself that these people that are going through it are people. They are characters, the names, if you get the victims' names, they have lives, they have family.
Right.
And that you have to treat that as the number one priority. If you were in those shoes and your brother, your son, your grandmother was the one listening. I think so many times, especially as you keep on reporting in hard news, you become really numb to it.
Yep.
And so you just have to like, be mindful of that. Especially like, be patient with officers if they haven't given you an identity because the next of kin hasn't been notified. um, Police and all of that, they don't work on a news deadline. They don't work on our timeline. So you sometimes have to get really creative of what you can say if they can only give you 2 or 3 sentences, right?
Right.
I
Right.
think the best way to do that is just kind of showing viewers what it's like there. One thing that you have an advantage of compared to someone in the studio is that you're out there. Make that the whole purpose of you going live. Even if you don't know exactly the details of how many people are involved in a crash, what can you see? You can see that there are 3 cars right now that are extremely damaged. You can see that there's 2 lanes that are backed up. You can see that people are taking an alternate route this way on this street. Anything to make sure that, the whole hit is a minute at least to make it, worth going live. Um, I think that also, like, trying to talk to people at crime scenes, not as an interview source, but as a person, is
Mhm.
how you gain their trust to tell you what's going on camera. Like if you're going there, like these are people that maybe are just nosy, but you never know who could be related. You never know if someone that you're interviewing was the last person who interacted with the now victim.
Right.
So I think all of those things are really, really important. Just like honing in on the morals that you hold as a journalist and continuing to follow that out instead of trying to do gotcha journalism and trying
Mm.
to go and take advantage of a situation just to have something that's clickbaity, that's lead worthy. No, I think that you really have to, hone in on making sure people feel like they're still human despite this crazy cause or this crazy crime scene that just appeared out of nowhere.
Mm. You might have a future in this, Claire. I'm just saying. You just might have
Thanks.
a future in this. I think that's why you're, to me, definitely a talented reporter. There's no question about it. Everything you said was on the money, for sure. Empathy is something that has to be shown, in my opinion. You do get you get the 50-50, right? I've had many reporters on here saying that they kind of block themselves off. They're like, yeah, these are people, but you got a job to do. And then there's people that say what you said. You can't go either way because you can understand both perspectives is what I'm saying. But at the same time, from my perspective, it's very tough for me to stick a microphone in somebody's face and ask them questions after a tragedy has happened. Because I have so much empathy. I just feel hard for them. And I really am compassionate about yourself and other news reporters. I really pat y'all on the back because it's really not an easy thing to do. I mean, how everybody deals with grief differently. So my thought process is how much grace do you give an individual in order to do your job?
I
Because
think it really
everybody
depends on
good.
the person, what they're going through. There's some
Right.
people that I've interviewed and they want to talk. Like they want to
Right.
talk to, like, especially if it's a missing person.
Right.
Like they want to talk because they feel like that is, a problem solving technique. They
Sure.
feel like that they're able to process things better if they're
Mhm.
talking to someone out loud about it. Of course, it benefits me, but two, it's like, okay, like into the question component with someone who's willing to talk, you have to, really listen and see where they're at, right?
Right.
There's a lot of things, like, you really have to meet people where they're at because there could be moments where I'm interviewing, and this happened, like, I was covering a missing voter, I think
Mhm.
last month.
Okay.
And there's one person who is just talking and she seems great. And then, a different reporter goes and pushes it too far. And now she's bawling, crying,
Mhm.
and it's because, and I get it, like some people are unpredictable, they're having a lot of emotions going through their head.
Right.
Sometimes it can trigger it, right? But
Yes.
then it's also important too to make sure, like, you as the reporter, if this person's bawling, don't make them keep on talking. My
Right.
god,
Read the
no,
room.
like
Read the room.
turn off the camera.
Right.
Yeah, don't make that like your whole story.
Right.
um but I think that is just something that's like really important. I think especially even approaching people to get them to talk on TV, even if it's
Mhm.
a not a crime scene. You talk to them, have a conversation with these strangers, and you throw it out there in the first 2 or 3 minutes, really see how they're feeling, and if they're willing and eager to talk to you, it's going to be great sound. If you're forcing someone and begging them just to have an interview so you can tell your news director I got an interview, it's not going to
Probably
be a
not
good one.
good. Probably not good. Absolutely. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I really didn't.
No, you're good. That was it.
I just wanted to say, like I said, that's a terrific type answer. It really is. And it's one of the reasons why I shied away from doing news, to be honest with you. Yes, I do love sports with a passion. I played it, I loved it. Yes, I told you Kobe was my idol. But and not to say sports don't have hard news stories. There's been times where I've had to cover high school, either boys or girls, and they're bawling. They're bawling, crying because they've lost and their season is over, and that same locker room is never going to be the same again. But I always say that when you go into sports, you know one or two things are going to happen with each game or each event that you play. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, and it could be you. It could be you that loses. But you know that walking into the gym or walking on the field, you know that. You don't know that with news. You don't know that where you'll step out the door if you're not coming back. The possibility doesn't really creep into your mind. I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't. I don't want to say that. That's crazy. It creeps into your
No, but it's
mind,
true. It's a very dangerous. A
but
lot of people don't realize how, dangerous the job is, to the point where some people won't even cover reporters for
Mhm.
disability insurance because of
Right.
how high risk the job is. And it's
Right.
also too, it's like you could say one thing wrong on live TV and your job could be completely gone.
Without question. Without question. I had this bonus thing come up in my mind because recently most of the people or the guests that I've had here on the Work Hard Play Hard podcast have said they've had trolls. We all deal with trolls in this business, whether it's social media, whether it's emails, whether it's written. Doesn't matter what it is, Claire. But I want to ask you, because there's been some people on here that said they have emails sent to them based upon people telling them, I don't like what you're wearing. I don't like the way you wear your hair. I don't like the way you do this. I don't like the way you do that. Have you had trolls? And if so, how have you dealt with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that if anything, that is probably one of the worst things about my job. The
Mm,
worst thing is that people assume that they know me because they see me on their TV every day and that
right.
they are entitled to not only judge me but make myself aware of all the negative things they perceive about me.
Sure.
I feel like everything, whether it's how I look, how I talk, all of it has been put under a microscope by
Wow.
these people.
Hmm.
And it is really, difficult, I think, especially for my dad to see the messages from men that are like his age and the things that they feel like they're entitled to say to me that
Oh,
are extremely inappropriate.
yeah.
I think that the best way to handle it is just to block people. I don't feel like a lot of people kind of call me out and they're like, why don't you really interact with people who comment? Why don't you respond to all the messages? That's not true. There are some people that I respond to, especially if like they're from Pennsylvania and they saw me up there and now they're in Florida and they're visiting and they were like, it's really nice to see you again. You're part of our
Sure.
morning routine before. It's really nice to have like hear your voice, whatever. Those people I'm happy to respond to. Happy to, reach out. But I can't, first of all, to have the expectation I'm going to respond to every person who messages me.
That's crazy.
Impossible. Impossible. And two, to give the time of day to someone who obviously is using like social media in such a negative way to
Right.
hide their own insecurities, to know that this person couldn't do my job,
Hmm.
it's not worth any effort to even acknowledge that, let alone give into it. I think a lot of people feel like they have a voice on social media that needs to be heard, which I agree if it's used in the right way. And these people
Sure.
are not using it in the right way. They're harassing people. They're making things such an unsafe workplace. And it's difficult because my workplace is not a building, it's a whole world. And I've had people come and follow my car. Like, that's why, like, I
Wow.
refuse to drive in a marked car because of terrible instances. I don't think any reporter, no matter what their gender is, whatever, deserves any of this kind of harassment.
Oh, no question, Claire. No question. And I'm very sorry to hear that. I've just been 300 plus episodes in this podcast. I really have. And I've heard all different kinds of stories, from being followed, to late night. People are whistling at different women. I've heard men talk about there's other men that's followed them. And it's really sad. It really is. But this is stuff that we deal with as journalists. And we get the emails, we get the trolls. And like you said, one mistake for us and our job is cooked. I mean, we're off the air and we're done. And we have to put up with a lot of that stuff. And more so women that I've heard from than men. Not to say that men don't, but it's definitely more so women that get involved. And it's just not fair. It's just not fair for to be writing stuff like that, saying stuff like that, because like you said, number one, they don't know you. And it's just inappropriate. But I wanted to ask that question because again, people need to know when you step into this industry, you may or may not have to deal with something like that. So it's an important question to ask. But we have reached the portion of the podcast now that we're going to do my interactive game, which is called This or That. It's a game I like to play with all of my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. And what it is, Claire, is I throw some things at you and you get to choose this or that. So I ask you, are you ready?
Sure. Full send.
All right, here we go. Out of these two restaurants, which restaurant would you rather eat at if you had to choose? Burger King or Wendy's?
Wendy's. I want the biggie bag. You're so food motivated.
I am. I'm a huge food guy, Claire. You're gonna find that out. I'm a huge food guy. And guess
Yeah.
what? The next question is food. When it
Put it
comes
down. I should put money on it.
right, when it comes to chicken wings, which flavor would you rather put on the wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Definitely barbecue.
Okay. Now, when it comes to that, do you like your wings wet or dry?
What?
Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
I prefer bone-in.
So you like to get messy? Is what
Yeah,
okay.
that's my job.
Okay, Claire, listen, you putting a smile on my face. It's hard to make me blush, but you're definitely making me do that right now. So that's amazing.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. These next five questions have to do with music concerts you rather attend. So they're gonna get harder as we go. So here we go.
Okay, where's the weekend?
He's not actually in one of these five. He's not in one of
Okay.
these five. But the first one is gonna be pretty tough in my estimation. Which concert would you rather go to? Rihanna or Beyonce?
Probably Rihanna.
Okay. Not as hard as I thought. Okay, I got you. That's pretty good. Which concert would you rather go to? Ariana Grande or Taylor Swift?
Ariana Grande.
You are not a Swiftie. You said that really fast. Okay.
No, I mean I appreciate her older era and very excited that now she's engaged.
Yep.
Very cool. Fun fact: the person who made her ring is from Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
Um, yeah, but I've Ariana Grande. I've been a fan with her whenever she starred in 13 on Broadway. So
Okay. Okay, I got you. Say less. Which music concert would you rather go to? Would you rather see her or SZA?
Ariana or SZA?
No, her.
Oh,
HER.
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 Oh,
Or
her.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I would choose her. Yeah, she's fantastic. She was great as Belle.
Okay, got you. Say less. Got you. Okay. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Ed Sheeran or Khalid?
Probably Ed Sheeran. I can make so many ginger jokes.
Okay. All right. I'm with you on that. Okay. Last one of the music. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Casey Musgraves or Carrie Underwood?
Carrie Underwood.
Very decisive, Claire. I like that. I
You
like
have
this.
to be.
Let's see if you're going to continue it, though. Let's see. Going back to sports. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Baseball or hockey?
Hockey. I want him to get in a fight.
Okay, so you like brutality is what I'm getting at.
It's entertainment.
Okay. Which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Probably Batman.
So you must suck as a bowler.
Yeah, I also have nails. I can't.
Good. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna let that one slide, Claire. I'm gonna let that one slide. Here we go. Okay. Do you like desserts?
Oh, of course. I love a sweet treat.
Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna name four categories of desserts. You have to choose one of these that you'll never eat again. Okay, so here are the four categories. The first one is grouped together, so it's cake slash pies. The next one is gonna be candy. The third one is gonna be cookies. The last one is gonna be ice cream. Which
I'll never
one?
eat pie. Never eat pie again. That's fine. Goodbye.
Wow. Okay. All right. Now, what's your favorite ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip.
Mm. Okay, fun fact, never had mint chocolate chip, never even tried a sample of that. Unfortunately, I have not
Add it
had
to the list. Come on. Food
I know,
blogger, aspiring food blogger, add it to the list.
I know. That's why I probably wouldn't be a great food blogger because I'm missing out on some good sweets and treats. That's just what it is. But I
Hmm.
will try it. Next time I try it, you're gonna be the first person I tell, and that's what
Good.
it is.
It does not taste like toothpaste, contrary to belief.
I have heard that too, by the way. Okay, here we go. Do you like potato chips?
Of course.
Okay. Same format. I'm going to name four brands. You have to choose one of these to X out. So here we go. First brand is Doritos. The second brand is Ruffles. The third brand is Lay's. The last brand is Pringles. Which one are you getting
Just
rid of?
buy Ruffles. Buy.
Oh hell no! You said that with the
If I
quickest.
wanted a wavy chip, I just get the Lay's version. You kidding me?
Well, Claire, I mean, you've been absolutely lovely, amazing. You're talented, beautiful, all the above. But you just proven you're not perfect. That's all. That's
Okay,
all.
great, perfect. I'm okay with that.
You okay with that? Okay, cool.
Hmm.
Okay, that's okay. Now, what is your favorite potato chip though? You don't have to choose the other three, but what's your favorite?
I love at like Publix they have these vegetable chips. And they're so good. It's like a black bag. I don't really know the brand. I just know what the bag looks like. They go and take it's like veggie straws, but like way more crispier. They're really good.
Okay, okay.
Like a squash. It's like a squash chip.
We're gonna move on.
Yes.
We're gonna move on from the chips. We're gonna move on from them. Okay. Well, you did pretty good for this or that. Very decisive, except your chip game. But other than that, we are good. We're absolutely good. But I love asking this next question. I have about three more for you. This next question is called bucket list. And the reason why it's called bucket list is because I want you to name me a top four bucket list of stories that you would like to do in your journalism career that you haven't done yet.
Oh my god, I gotta say and what I get to cover. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it'd be cool to like do like a Broadway related piece. Like, I think that'd be really cool for me. I would like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to like go and do a piece too about just like putting like a microphone on and a camera on like all the dogs of the NFL and doing a piece about that, about like the team dogs or like with
Okay.
the MLB and they have team dogs. I think that'd be a good time.
Okay. I'm a huge
Love
dog lover,
dogs.
so that's great.
Um, I would also like love to do like any type of story that deals with like you go to like a mass food production place and you like go behind the scenes. It's like how like this food was made. It's like unwrapped from Food Network from the 2000s.
Sure. Absolutely.
Um and then I like weather. I think covering weather is a fun time. I mean, I should say that because it's like literally hurricane season. So I think that like it'd be cool to do like a weather related like storm prep thing on maybe a boat. Like, wouldn't it be cool to like figure out how cruise ships like actually prep if they're gonna sail into like a hurricane? Like that'd be a cool story. I would say
Okay.
those four. Yeah.
I think those are four uniquely stories, but I would love for that for you. I love asking that question because I'm hoping one of these days you get to cover something like that, kind of speaking into its existence a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
manifesting.
you said what?
We're manifesting. That's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, exactly. So that's what you got to do. Now, you talked about advice that you would give earlier, which was a great, terrific answer. But what is some advice that someone has gave you, Claire, that you hold on dearly to?
Oh, I love this. Kelly Myers. She's a reporter in DC. I follow this advice to this day. She's
Okay.
like, if you're a reporter, every time you see a bathroom, use it. Every time you get a chance to get food in your system, take advantage of it. And every time that you get a chance to catch your breath and take a break, drink water and actually take that break. I follow that every single day. I swear to God.
First of all, I'm gonna be honest. That is a long ass quote. That's number one. And then number two, how you gonna talk about I talk about food and then you quote about food?
I'm telling yeah, you want honest journalism. Here's honest journalism. This girl gave me this piece of advice while I was in
Mm-hmm.
DC. I was like, that's genius. And so now every time, especially
Mm-hmm.
breaking news,
Yeah,
I'm getting gas. There's a bathroom there. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go and maybe get a snack. I don't know. It depends on the day.
I love it. Yeah, probably some veggie chips. I totally
Oh,
understand.
yes. I love my veggie chips.
Listen, and and I'm certainly gonna be very honorable and very humble and leave them on the shelf for you. I'm certainly going to do that. That's for
Okay,
sure.
great. Thanks. More for me. I'm
That,
not complaining.
that's true. Listen, that's why I said what I said. I'm a very
Just
nice
one
guy.
more extra bag that I can obtain and add to my pantry. Thank you.
I'm
Appreciate
trying
it.
to tell you, and you're welcome. I appreciate you saying thank you. By the way, um, I want to throw some rapid fire at you, Claire. I really do.
Okay,
And
yeah, gotta make it fast. I gotta go to bed. Like I have to go to work and wake up at 3 a.m.
I
So
know, I know it, I know, and I appreciate you staying on. This is the last question here, okay? Um,
okay,
I'm gonna throw some rapid fire at you, and you just first thing that comes to your mind, okay? So here we go. Favorite color,
yellow.
okay? Favorite TV series,
The Office.
favorite alcoholic brand,
Malibu.
okay? Favorite card game,
Uh, it's uh, it's called 41. It's a Filipino card game that involves some gambling here and there. It's a good time.
okay? I'm not
You
even
go to the
gonna ask you.
Philippines, you'll learn.
I'm about to say I'm not even gonna ask you to explain that. We'll have to talk offline for that. Favorite
All right.
board game,
Clue.
okay? If you had a choice to choose three people to take with you on vacation, who would those three people be, and where would you go? Now, before you choose, you can choose family, friends, or celebrities.
Only 3 people? Dang it.
Three plus you, so four total.
I would have to bring my brother and my sister, and then I'd have my parents do rock, paper, scissors, shoot to see who gets the third slot.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. No, you just. Oh my
Hello.
lord. Okay. Hey,
Third
I
time's
thought
the
you had
charm.
left. You good? You good? This is. Did
The
you even
rapid
hear my
fire
last
was just
question?
so rapid, it made my phone overheat and shut down. So here we are.
Okay, okay, I'm with you on that. We're one for one. I left you, you left me, but we're back, so it's all good. So did you hear
So
my
the
last
last.
question?
No, I did not. It was like, oh.
Okay. Oh, that's what it did. That's the sound it made
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Okay,
They're
I
spitting
got
out,
you.
but
Totally. Okay, so here was my last question. It was if you wasn't doing news as a morning reporter and you had to pick a different genre, out of these three genres, which one would you have chosen? Sports, entertainment, or travel?
mm, well, I would want to pick entertainment, but I kind of like job stability, so I'll say travel. I'd be a flight attendant.
Okay. Okay. Well, listen, you did very well on the rapid fire, and you've been very excellent this entire interview, being a trooper, staying up with me. I really do appreciate you allocating your time. I really do. And thank you so much for coming on my podcast and really talking about your why and sharing your story. It's
Thanks, Chris. You
really
too. I'm
really
glad to
wonderful.
learn your story as well. You
Mhm.
stay warm in upstate New York, okay? Enjoy this winter when the sun doesn't shine for a little bit, but you'll be fine. Just get a little lamp.
Well, well, I will take that advice near and dear to my heart, Claire. I really do appreciate you advocating that to me. Thank you so much. And you and I will most certainly be in touch. There's no question about that. You have a wonderful night.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one. Bye. Thank you for having me. Bye.